Police Commissioner Fanie Masemola's briefing. He says that SAPS Operation Shanela has seen the arrest of over 120,000 suspects in the last 6 months. Joining us is Mpho Kwinika, Independent Policing Union of South Africa General Secretary. Mr. Kwinika, I appreciate your time this afternoon. 120,000 suspects arrested. That's a significant number and almost suggests that the police are doing a pretty decent job.
Yeah, look, it's a good number, but people are dying. The duty of the South African Police Service is to prevent and combat crime. Until such time that we have got better mechanism to utilize normal policing to curb crime, we are going to continue and have these problems which we have with communities. The peoples of Diepsloot, you have heard them, they are not happy. We could not be happy with the numbers which the National Commission has attributed to, when the peoples of Diepsloot and the other parts of the country are still not happy.
Now, you suggest that the policing mechanisms that should be put in place, what are these mechanisms and are they not currently being utilized?
Look, policing is a two-legged animal. It has got proactive policing, which prevent crime from taking place, and reactive policing, which reacts to crime that has already taken place. We are not made to pick up bodies. We are made to stop people from being killed. So, if you look at the issues of operations, the operations is part of reactive policing. When you are involved in an operation, it has got the beginning and the end time. It has got budget, it has got human resource and vehicles that are allocated to it. What we would love to see as the Independent Policing Union of South Africa is the deployment of resources to each and every policing precinct, so that those station commissioners who are appointed and in their job descriptions and their contract, they have indicated that they will be able to quell any kind of criminality that takes place within their policing precinct. So what we want to see happening, it is the police that is capable of preventing crime during normal policing hours.
So we all want to see that. We all want to see that capability, but there seems to be an incapable police that we are dealing with. What do you suppose are the challenges? I mean, you've talked about the certain provisions that are being provided to police stations or certain policing areas. Do we have the right number of police, right number of boots on the grounds? Do we have capacity to stop crime? In fact, do the police know what they're supposed to be doing?
Look, we need to change our national crime prevention strategy. We also need to make sure that we've got a structure that is capable of fighting or geared towards fighting crime. The current structure that we have is very flat. The resources are centralized somewhere else, as opposed to the communities whom these police stations are at. So until such time that we have a structure that is geared towards fighting crime, and have resources like human and material resources which are out there, utilized sparingly and optimally as well, we are going to continue and have a situation where crime continues unabated in our country.
Tata Kwinika, allow me to press on a little bit. You've talked about a flat structure. Now, that seems a little bit Greek for the layperson. Talk to us about what the proper structure should be and where the police seem to be getting it wrong. How do they not know that the structure should change?
Look, it will be very difficult for our communities, but I think for management purposes, the South African Police Service, people used to complain and said it's blood on top. In other words, people who are needed to fight crime are centralized somewhere else. Until such time that we build a structure, currently we have seen that the National Commission of Police have introduced 2 deputy national commissioners, one responsible for operations and the other one responsible for support. Now, he needs to go down now and trim that structure at the bottom, up until all human and material resources which are at that layer are decentralized, especially to places such as police stations and the district commissioners who are very close to communities whom they serve.
Now, when we take a look at crime stats, and I want to focus on gender-based violence and those figures, because I'm fairly familiar with them. You know, the numbers that we're talking about are ranging between 10 and 12,000 cases every quarter, I think, for the last couple of years. So clearly there's been no movement, at least no positive movement in coming down with those figures. So who's ultimately responsible for making that decision if for the last number of years these figures have remained stagnant?
Look, when National Commissioner, the current general, took over the office, we all expected that he was going to tweak a little bit of the structure, of which he did, but right on top, but he still has to go to take it down. He is responsible for ensuring that there are fundamental and structural reforms that are geared towards fighting crime in our country. And then our members as well need to play that role. They need to support him in realizing these objectives. But let's share the disappointments. The problem that we have in policing today, I can tell you that there is so much conflict within management and the members on the ground. The dispute resolution mechanism that we have in the SAPS, in the name of SBC, it was collapsed on the 31st of May, and it was taken over by CCMA because it is not capable. There is so much dispute in that environment that they are unable to deal with that. Now, apart from those things there, you also have got members who cannot tolerate this environment anymore. Last financial year, we lost 2,000. As we speak now, the National Commissioner of Police has a diary with all members who are quitting to have what we call an exit interview with them, with an intention to beg them to stay. So we've got a structure, a police service that is at war with itself, and because it's at war with itself, it will be not possible for it to fight crime outside there.
Now, you talk about 2,000 having lost in the last year. Have those 2,000 been replaced?
You see, the recruitment which we have now, let me give you stats, but out of the cuff. Every year, the South African Police Service loses plus minus 5,000 to 6,000 per year through normal attrition, resignations, and transfer out, and even dismissals. But you will see that there was an upside. There was a number of 2,000 that was added last year on the 5,000, which took it to 7,000. Now you only recruit 10,000. You remain with only, if you minus 7, you remain with 3,000. It means this recruitment must be ongoing for at least 3 to 4 years. That is coming. Then they will be able to deal with the shortages which we have. I think we've got yesterday, one of the unions indicated, and I think those stats are correct, to say that there are 23,000 posts that are not filled in the South African Police Service. And apart from the 23,000, you have got plus minus 10,000 posts, which we still need to make sure that we have got 33,000 to cover for that 23,000 as well. So we have a problem. The problem needs recruitment. The recruitment needs to be ongoing.
Independent Policing Union of South Africa General Secretary Mpho Kwinika, appreciate your time this afternoon.